Guys, sorry for the spin around there. Today we're going to make homemade bologna, and as you can see, I've done a lot of the pre-mixing and measured out all my ingredients prior to starting this video, so we can just make it move along and you're not wasting any time and get right to her. So I'm going to go through it all right now. The bologna, I have the ground beef, which is 80% fat-free, and I got that from a local butcher, so there's nothing added to it for the shelf life, no additives whatsoever. The pork as well is 2 pounds, and that's from the butcher as well. We left the fat in the pork because, well, of course you need a little bit for all your meat. So she was pre-mixed, and I've added ice to keep its consistent texture, and also to keep it cool. See how the bowl is frosted. Prior to mixing them, I put the meats in the freezer for about 20 minutes for stiffening up the meat, easier to deal with and mix. So anyhow, let's go over to the ingredients. Actually, I forgot my drink. Before we start, we always have to have a cold Blue Mountain Coors. So of course, I'm not trying to encourage. I'm a whiskey drinker on the weekends. During the week, I like to have a cold beer after work. Now, with that dealt with, let's go to our ingredients. So here I have a cup of dry milk. 1 cup, it's measured. A little bit moved around, but it's 1 cup. I have garlic powder, 1.5 teaspoons. I have black pepper, that's 3/4 of a teaspoon. I have ground coriander, 1.5 teaspoons. These little things come in handy. The kids' egg coloring kits, I like to use them often. Anyhow, so there's 2.5 teaspoons, 2.5 teaspoons of salt. This has your allspice, your white pepper, and your mace. Each measurement should be 3/4 of a teaspoon. So 3/4 teaspoon with white pepper, allspice, and mace. Those are all 3 of them in there. Over here I have 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. Don't need too much for this one. And of course, I have 3/4 of a teaspoon of cardamom. That's it there. Not a lot of recipes call for that, but I have her in stock. And then over here, of course, I ran out of egg coloring kits. This is 3/4 of a teaspoon of sage. So she's in my bowl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them all. They can all be thrown together. Here's the sugar. Here's the salt. Oh, a little bit of pepper stuck around. Get it all. That's why we measure it. White pepper, sage, or white pepper, allspice, and mace. Apologize for the rubber tongue there. And this is the ground coriander, the black pepper, and the garlic powder. Now you know that's going to be loaded with flavor, just loaded. So let's get these out of the way because I'm going to do a few batches tonight. Now we're going to turn the mixer back on. On low speed for now. Ooh, she's not locked down. Let her mix up. I still see some ice cubes in there, so we don't need to add any more. So what I'm going to do now is, let's make sure all the meat stays down. She's been a little bit of a struggle just to keep her in the bowl. I think I'm going to have to get a bigger mixer. I'd rather do bigger batches than small 1 or 2 batches here and there. Fill up the freezers. Let's start out with This will help it bind together, and it's fat-free. Trying to mix it everywhere, eh? Not too much. That'll help it along a little bit. Now the best reason for making this at home is there's no chemicals added, no additives to keep it on the store shelves. No chemicals, all that stuff that you have to worry about feeding your kids. And bologna is one of their favorite sandwich meats. One of mine as well. The best about this thing is you can cut it as thick as you want. So I'm a Newfoundlander, so we make Newfie steaks with this. The thicker the better. And I think I'm going to take one of the batches and throw it on the smoker. I haven't smoked one of these yet, but I will. Let's see how she goes with a nice hickory wood, maybe an apple wood. Let's get the rest of that dry milk in there. Getting in there. Now I am using a bread hook. After watching a few and following a bunch of my favorites on YouTube for cooking and stuff like that, he's done more testing than I have, and he swears by the hook. I'm having a little difficult time because it is very stiff and cold, but nonetheless it's mixing. See a nice cube down there? Right there. Yeah, we don't want too much because I don't want it watered down. A little bit of moisture is fine. Let's get all this. I'm being very messy about this. Let's get some of that milk off there. I want to make sure everything is in the meat. Mixed, blended well. Binding up really good. I just want to see some of that other stuff, make sure we get it all mixed in. Push some of this stuff back in. And make a big mess. I'm just trying to switch some of the position of this meat so we can ensure a good mix. I think that's pretty good. Back in a second. And now I'm just cleaning my hands. Now what you want to do is take your seasonings. Sorry for moving around. Only going to do part of it. And play with it a little bit longer. I think when we were kids, we used to like to muck like this. Used to love it. I think it's more fun now because you eventually get to eat it. I will study the video after I'm done. I've been holding the camera. We're doing indoor. I actually bought it for the outdoor grill. And and we're just doing the finishing touches. That video is to come. See the huge new addition to the smokehouse. Back in some more. Sorry guys, apologize. Okay, they're all in there. And you're seeing the top of the mixer. Now, she needs some help in there, so I'm going to shut her off, get her up just so I can tuck some of this back. All those spices just sitting on top here, no good there. My hands are washed quite a bit. I think I'm losing the fingerprints. The moisture's all gone. Okay, so wash my hand again. Sorry guys. Okay, you can see the consistency is pretty good. We just want to mix in all our seasonings. We want this to taste amazing. I want all the meat, sorry guys, I want all the meat in there. I'm doing one hand. Coincidence, because my good friend out there, he was only using one hand. But I really wanted to get this out to you, but I can't wait no more. I want some fresh bologna. So here she is, and here's my crappy, shaky video for you. Okay, get that down there. Now let's do some mixing. Every time I scrape, I get one side, and then I put some more on the other side. Good enough, I say. Put this back down, lock her, and let's turn it up a bit. Not too bad. Well, I don't want to lose that piece over there. Saw that, but she stayed in. Something tells me one of those pieces are going to jump out. I'm sorry. I need to see my filthy sink. Just finished dinner. I'm doing bologna, and I'm getting ready to do up some bacon. We're going to smoke some bacon next Tuesday. It takes about a week to cure it in the fridge, with the daily routine of flipping it at the same time, and that as well as for consistency. But that's a new video. Right now we're doing homemade bologna. So it looks like I got everything pretty good. And this mixer is doing a great job. Okay. I'll come back in a second. And I'll have the pans out. The oven's already preheated at 275. You leave her in there for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Look for a temperature of about 155, 160. After that, she should be perfectly done. So I'll be right back before this mixer takes off on me. I saved you the mess. The sticky hands, the rubber gloves, I saved all that and I stuffed it into a nice, I'd say fair size bread pan. As you can see, she over towers. Square off your ends. Try and keep it as neat as possible. And you know what? It doesn't have to be a tube. Anything you want. But the way I see this right now, it looks like a slice of bread. Looks like it'll fit a slice of bread perfectly. So that's why I mounted it up like that. Pushed it in. Nice cuts. So we're going to put her in the oven. As you see, she's up to 275. She's going to be in there for 3 hours. And I like to tell everybody, because some people have different equipment. So she's in there. She's going to be timed to 30. The reason why I did that is because every piece of kitchen appliance is different. I find this stove very powerful. It's a GE profile. It's got everything, bells and whistles, whatever. But it's very powerful. So 3 hours, I might come back to a burnt bologna. And I don't want to do that, so I'd rather come back a half hour prior and keep an eye on it. But there she's in. So what we'll do is I'll have to come back to you when we check on her. There she is. And because she is closer to the top, you know what? It's probably a better idea you do come back at 2.5 hours. Till then, guys. It's finished. I told you about 155 to 160. She actually read at 163. I took it, still hot, and I just carved a few slices. These slices will just be eaten now, I guess. The rest of it, and the next loaf I make, we're going to do the meat slicer. So we'll do it as thin as sandwich meats. But it smells amazing. Well, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. See you next video.